day before. I want to talk to you about a few things today. The movie The Sound of Freedom. I saw it. I got an advance copy about a year ago, and it's been in the making for about 4 years. So I want to tell you my thoughts on it. And I also want to tell you about something yet again new that I'm doing, a new thing that I'm doing. And I also want to talk to you about my book, Killer House, which is still number one on Amazon. Now, here's the catch. It used to be number one in two categories. It's only number one in one category, in pain. And I would love it if you had ever thought about getting the book. What happens is when more people talk about it, more people buy it, more people have five-star reviews, which there are, and I'm gonna talk to you about that. It brings the algorithm up and more people can see it. So that's always a good thing because if more people see it, more people are getting out of pain. And for those of you who don't know, not only did I lose my home that was once featured on MTV Cribs, but I almost died from toxic mold that was growing between the walls. And I never saw anything. I just kept getting sicker and sicker. So I'll talk to you about that today if you want to. If you want to hear about all of those things. And I also want to talk to you about Independence Day, what that means to you. I'd love to hear your comments. So stick around. This won't be too long, but yes, I see everybody popping in. Thank you so much for joining me. And also, please write in the comment section where you're watching from. We've got, yeah, I might need to have my glasses for this. Sorry, guys. Broken Winged Songbird. Hello from Oklahoma. Howdy, Ted. I don't know if you, I'm not Ted. I don't know if you noticed that. Actually, tonight, Ted is playing, he's going to be jamming with Night Ranger at the Michigan Cherry Festival. Now, for those of you who don't know anything about the Michigan Cherry Festival, it is huge. Michigan cherries are amazing, like Michigan cherry salsa, Michigan cherry pies. I mean, it's amazing. So the Michigan Cherry Festival is actually a super big deal. Hey, Karen from Taylor, Michigan. I know where Taylor is. I grew up in Mount Clemens and also graduated from Wayne State University. I went to school on 8 Mile in Detroit. Crazy. Hey, Alan from Dearborn. How's Dearborn doing? Just curious. Thank you so much for being here. Happy 4th from David. Thank you for being here, David. Hello, Nina from North Carolina. Awesome. Okay. My one book was bestseller in Japan, English book. Okay. Yes. Okay, so here's what I wanted to talk to you about on that note, Todd. And I love the comments. Keep them coming. Ask me questions about my book, about 4th of July, about dogs, about toxic mold, about health, because I want to share something with you. I'm doing something yet again new. Do you have this problem or is it just me and Ted? Ted and I are so much alike where we get done with one thing, it's kind of like, okay. As soon as my book started selling and went live on Amazon, I'm like, okay, what do I do now? Not really. I mean, we have so much going on. We've got our Ted Nugent Spirit of the Wild television show on Pursuit Channel, and I've got my Real America's Voice show, which is on, it's called Faith and Freedom on Real America's Voice. And I'd love to hear if you watch it and who is your favorite guest. Every week I have at least 3, if not 4 different guests. I like to keep it short. And speaking of freedom, this is a good segue. I am losing my freedom day by day. I don't know if you guys are. I just got this notification on Instagram. Tina Maroney sent this to me and she said, by the way, let me see if I could read exactly. I was going to try and share my screen, but I don't know how to do that. I need my Super Don producer. So apparently, if you try to follow me on Instagram or even look me up on Instagram, it says, I'll show you this. Are you sure you want to follow Shemaine Nugent? This account has repeatedly posted false information that was reviewed by independent fact checkers or went against our community guidelines. How do you like them apples? So, guys, what is going on? If tomorrow, Independence Day, doesn't cause reflection on your part, what are we independent from? I mean, I'm sure we've got a lot more freedoms than many other countries, but we're losing them fast. I don't have the freedom of speech. My Real America's Voice show called Faith and Freedom, which is on Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern. And if you can't watch it, it's okay. If you can't watch it live, you can go back and you can watch it on the replay. And I have a lot of great guests. I had somebody tell me, Pastor Anthony tell me, it just keeps getting better and better. And I have a brand new intro that's super cool. It's super cool. Okay. Yes, Crystal, this is spot on. I think this is why. Crystal Jarrell, it's because you share the word of God. I wholeheartedly believe that. Absolutely. Hi from Australia, says Roscoe. Hey, Roscoe. Yes, you guys are a few steps ahead of us. Okay, looking at some comments. Yes, I know. I should. I have some channels that I could actually follow through. I never like to take advantage of the contacts that I have, and I've never asked. So you're right. Maybe I should, Todd. This is true, Mark. I think you are very right on that one. Yes. Okay. So thank you for the comments. Hey, girl. Oh, yeah. Peter McCullough on Sunday's Faith and Freedom. Are you kidding me? Come on. Like, yeah. And then I had one of my favorite Christian artists. I mean, I every time I play this music, if you ever happen to see me driving and I'm like shout, sing it. Of course, I don't close my eyes when I'm driving, but I'm singing and pounding. It's probably because I'm listening to Jordan Felix. So check that out. He was on my show on Faith and Freedom on Sunday on Real America's Voice. Okay, so oh yes, and there's one other thing. Rocco and I were on Alex Jones's show on InfoWars. So go check that out. Kevin Scholl was kind enough to post the link to get that show. And Rocco and I have both reposted a couple of clips from it. But I'm scared to because I'm banned on social media. And I've heard that just Alex's voice, or if you mention his name, I'm probably going to get banned here. But super cool and super awesome to have Rocco there supporting me, not only supporting me, but I had so many comments how eloquent he was when he was talking too. So it was great. And again, Rocco has written in my Killer House book, he wrote from his perspective how it felt to lose his health and to lose the home that he grew up in. And not only that, like you say that, it was so much more. And there's another young man that writes in here, Cooper Bear. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, it almost makes me cry. 12 years old, and he wrote this. His mom is a friend of mine. His mom, Christina, is a friend of mine. We call her the Mold Mom Warriors. There's a group of us. And Christina and her family lost their home. She's a former U.S. attorney, United States attorney. She quit her job. And I'm going to have her on here. Casey McCurry also wrote something. So it's not just my story. It's other people's story. Christina Bear, Look for the Heroes. I'm going to have her on soon. She is also helping our troops who have been poisoned by jet fuel at military housing in Hawaii. Guys, what is going on? You have to watch everything you do, everywhere you go. I mean, you walk outside your door and Big Brother's watching. Inside too, if you have Alexa. Okay, so I wanted to talk to you about a couple things. The movie called The Sound of Freedom. So I, through a friend you all may know, Juan07, he hooked me up over a year ago with one of the producers of Sound of Freedom. And they sent me an advanced link, a screener was what they call it. Phenomenal. I'm going to try not to cry. Phenomenal movie. Jim Caviezel, if he doesn't win Best Actor for this, you know that there's something wrong with Hollywood. Phenomenal. It's going to make you angry. Hopefully, it'll open your eyes. I just had a text from a friend saying, a guy saying he just got out of Sound of Freedom, bawled his eyes out. You will cry. And when I first heard about this, because my story is, I went down the rabbit hole a couple years ago during the start of 2020, January of 2020, and I couldn't unsee what I saw, and I had no idea that human trafficking, child trafficking was such a big deal. Like, really? That's actually going on in this world? What? It is. And it's so prevalent, and I'm telling you, the more I find out every single day about, I'm afraid to say what I really want to say here because I'm already so shadow banned on everything. Our government is so freaking corrupt. It's disgusting. We have an open border. There is human trafficking going on at that border. And Jim Caviezel, I saw him doing an interview. We don't have a country, because to have a country, you have to have closed borders. We don't have that. His words, not mine, but I happen to agree. Okay, yes, they're burning down Paris. They're burning down Canada's forests. Yes, they're listening through your smart TV, everything. Okay, so looking at all these comments, thank you guys so much. So I want to share a couple of other things. Go see Sound of Freedom. It should be in the other reason why I want to support movies like that, independent films. They spent 3 or 4 years trying to get distribution. Why? Does it touch on a nerve that somebody doesn't want to hear? Is somebody, yeah, is it calling out some things that they don't want to have called out? Just saying. Anyways, they spent a long time trying to get distribution, and thankfully now Angel Studios is distributing it, so you should be able to watch it in a theater near you. We'll be able to watch it too, and we're going to in the next couple of days. Even though I've seen it before, I could see it again, and I want to support independent filmmaking. Also, Nefarious is a good movie to watch. Don't watch it before you go to bed. You can watch that on streaming. Don't watch that before you go to bed. I'm just saying. Okay, so for those of you who want to grab my, I'm trying to find out the caption. Okay, how do I, yeah, this one's not playing. Okay, if you want to find out more about my book, yeah, none of my captions are, there we go. You can check out Killer House on Amazon. That's Killer House on Amazon. And okay, let's see if I can change the captions to let you know about something else, something new, because I'm so bored. That's not true. That is not true. I can't find it. I thought I just made another caption. Lower third. Okay, so yeah, I thought I just did. Killer House. Okay, go to my website, ShemaineNugent.ROCKS, and look up Masterclass. So I thought I just created that. ShemaineNugent.rocks/masterclass. If somebody can write that in the comment section, I will repost it. What I'm looking for is, I have a new masterclass, and it's coming up 1 week from today. because I'm so bored. Yeah. I just I'm grateful to God. Every day, every morning, every night, and all throughout the day, I thank God for my health. When you lose your health and you're lucky enough to get it back, I feel like there's not enough hours in the day to do all the things that I wanna do and just share this information that I've learned with people. I meet people who are at where I used to be a few years ago, 10, 20 years ago, and another friend said to me, I was doing an interview and I talked about one of the things that I learned in writing this book, or from getting sick and almost dying, is I learned to have boundaries. And she's like, what do you mean? Talk to me about that. It's Trisha Rodriguez. Actually, I'll be on her show called The Patriot Nightcap. If you go to YouTube, look up Patriot Nightcap. She is the sister of David Nino Rodriguez, the heavyweight boxing champ. She and I just get along like two peas in a pod. Like, we're just great. So there, I think we start out by going, is anybody else listening to this? Because we have to catch up on stuff. But we have a lot of fun. But one of the things that she asked me was, what do you mean by boundaries? Well, for example, I have to pick and choose where I'm going to go and when I'm going to go, how often I'm going to travel, and honestly, who I'm going to be surrounded by. And if I'm going to be in an environment that's stressful or toxic, then I have to limit the amount of time that I'm there. I really do. So that is the number one thing that I have learned. And I go into a lot of detail about it. Okay, here's faith and freedom. Yeah, I could have swore I made a caption about that, but maybe not. Okay, I'm completely blocked. Yeah, so creating boundaries in your life is huge. And the older I get, yeah, the more boundaries I have, and the more I realize that one word is a complete sentence. You ready? No. You don't have to say no because no, I'd love to help with your garage sale, but and there are times I find myself all the time where I just wanna, I'd be happy if I was there, I would help you move. And if I do have a few extra hours, I love doing things like that. That's why I love setting aside time for charity, because I think that that's super important. It takes the focus off of you and your problems, me and my problems. Trust me, I have a lot. But I don't worry when you're helping children who are on their last days, Make-A-Wish children. Bad hair days don't matter. In fact, when I was at Bard's Fest, I'm gonna get through this conversation without crying. A gentleman after Bard's Fest in Yuba City, and if you don't know about Bard's Fest, Scott Kesterson, who runs an uber successful and popular podcast called Bards of War on Podbean, 17 shows a week, 40 million followers. He must be doing something right, and he must be hitting the nail on the head. So he had asked me to come out and speak at Bard's Fest. I'm like, oh, okay. Pastor Anthony was going. All right, I'll go. So I spoke. I shot my bow and arrow on stage, and afterwards, I thought I'd bring a couple of books. This was even before I had them in the store, or the store on Amazon. They were available. I self-published this because I couldn't get a publisher. I didn't try really hard. I went to a couple, but I'm like, screw it. I'm going to do it myself. But one gentleman came up to me and said, do you remember my nephew? And said his name. And I went, yeah, I do. He came to our house. He had bone cancer when he was either 12 or 14 years old. He goes, yeah, that was him. So the circle, it's just amazing to see how many people this book is resonating with, because this gentleman also was sickened from toxic mold. And if you are on any kind of medication, allergy medication, fibromyalgia, joint pain, headaches, migraines was my thing, brain fog, fatigue, fill in the blank. I urge you, I please don't take the medication don't fill this prescription until you read this book. It might get you off of prescription drugs. And if your children are taking allergy medication, they have headaches, sore throat, runny nose, whatever, fevers, constant, chronic, what did I used to have? Strep throat all the time, every year. Check out my book, Killer House, on Amazon.com. Okay. Okay. Somebody said, I saw a comment. What are Ted and I doing for 4th of July? Nothing. Nothing. We've got a big couple of weeks coming up, month. Ted is on his last tour. I promise you. Well, I can't promise you. I am 95% sure. Let's make it 90. 90% sure this is his last tour. And I'll tell you why. A couple of reasons. Number one, he's 74. Number two, he's been touring for 60 years. Like really, he started playing sock hops and things like that when he was a teenager in high school. And then in his 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, he's toured between 150 and 250 or more days a year. That means 250 hotel rooms, 250 cars, trains, planes, whatever. And he loves the music. He just wants to stay home. He's still, us, like he's always doing his show on Real America's Voice Friday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern, and our Ted Nugent Spirit of the Wild Pursuit channel, and also the nightly Nuge. So we've got a lot of things going on. It's just he wants to spend more time at home with the dogs and me, I guess. Yes. So, okay. I wanted to know is one of the biggest. Yes, the biggest words. And I love that. Okay. Made me sick to my stomach. Yes. Okay. I stopped watching TV. It's really quiet, but it's kind of peaceful, right? I pick and choose what I watch and listen to. There are a handful of people whose podcasts I listen to. One is Scott Kesterson, Bards FM. Another one, I listen to Glenn Beck occasionally. I listen to Steve Deace a lot. A lot. I like Steve Deace. He's following Glenn Beck on the Blaze TV network, on the Blaze network. So, okay. So the other thing I wanted to tell you about or talk to you about, I want to see what your thoughts are about independent fireworks, because it's a big thing. They started going off around our house Friday night. And I worry that people must be spending tens of thousands of dollars. This one fireworks display had to be, 10 miles away, but you could still see it, And if our house is kind of up on a hill and we can see things in the distance. And we have a moat around our house. We've got snipers. I'm just saying, maybe not. But it's kind of amazing how much money people spend on fireworks. But here's the other thing. We have a lot of animals on our property, a lot of white-tailed deer, fallow deer, scimitar horn, oryx, black buck, antelope, aoudad, and our dogs. And our dog Happy is scared to death of the fireworks, constant for an hour. So I'm only wondering what 4th of July is going to be like, constant. So I wanted to get I know it's legal. Steve Gates. You mean Bill Gates? Okay. Yes. It sounds like a war zone. It's crazy. So I see something about Detroit. When I grew up, we would have been a fan of you and Ted since Morning Talk Radio in Detroit. Oh, hey, Dan from Royal Oak. I met Ted at WLLZ in Detroit. I was the traffic reporter for a rock and roll radio station in Detroit. I knew nothing about traffic or nothing about rock and roll, My job was just about traffic, and that's how we met. Ted came in and he filled in for the morning show for an hour, for 4 hours every day for 5 days. And when you're sitting there for hours talking to people, there's no TV, you're just talking. Radio in the program director, Doug Podell, would encourage you to talk, to banter. And you get to learn a lot about somebody when you talk for 4 hours every single day for 5 days. And so that's how we met. Crazy. Yeah. But about Detroit, when I was growing up in Detroit, we'd have the downtown Detroit fireworks, and you'd either get in the car, the whole family would get in the car, and you go downtown Detroit, find parking, grab your blanket, lay on the grass and watch the fireworks. There'd be maybe a half a dozen fireworks throughout Detroit, throughout like Stony Creek, Metro Beach, strategic places in the Detroit area. And we'd have sparklers. That was oh, you got sparklers. Oh, yes, sparklers. I don't know. I miss those days. Okay, Pookie. Pookie, I think you mean Miami Vice, right? Pookie? Yes, Ted was on Miami Vice. Who remembers Miami Vice? I used to watch that. And I wrote about Don Johnson. I met Don Johnson. So love. Okay. Yeah, no, yes, 97.8 WLLZ, and then it turned into the Bear. Yeah. Okay, sparklers can give you bad burn. Yes, and I have been told, somebody was messaging me today and said, please get the word out. If you're doing at-home fireworks tonight or tomorrow, please be careful. Please don't let kids and babies around them, please. And be cognizant of dogs, of pets in the area. If you're in a neighborhood, probably isn't wise to shoot off big fireworks. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Down in the D, yes, last year. Okay, guys, I think I covered everything. Oh, yes, I never did get this caption. I thought I did, but go to, I see it didn't work out. Let me try it. I'm gonna try and, no, that wasn't it. That wasn't the one. So sorry, do you talk to yourself too? I'm trying right now to write in a caption. Also, I might be able to do it now. I think I have ADD. I'm sure I do. And I'm sure Ted does too. So, okay, I'm going to focus. My Glow community. I want to talk to you about that. So, it is, bear with me 1 second. I'm going to copy and paste this and then put it in here. Hopefully that'll work. Okay, there we go. All right, guys, now I'm rocking. Okay, so I want to talk to you about this Glow community. This is really important to me. I've been working on this for a while, a lot of things for a while. I would love to hear from you. Write in the comment section if this is you, because if it's not, I don't want to do it. But I've spent a lot of time working on this program that I'm doing a masterclass 1 week from today. It's going to be very in-depth because I just wrote a book, published it. It's on Amazon. I got nothing to do right now. So let me know if this resonates with you. Okay. Are you interested in achieving a healthy balance in mind, body, and spirit? If you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, if you want help, if you want somebody to help you walk through every step of the way, I've been through a few trials and tribulations. I've written about it in this book. I wrote this book so that it's part memoir for a couple of reasons. So you can see how I was once named Detroit's Most Physical Female. I was healthy and then got married and then started getting sick. Should have been the walking poster child for health and fitness, but got sick and almost died. So I've been on that roller coaster ride. I also, in college, I was 30 pounds heavier than I am now. And I know what it's like to wake up. I remember waking up and or going to bed praying, God, please let me be 20 pounds skinnier in the morning. I really did. I prayed that. I learned a lot about prayer since then. But I've figured out a few things. I've been a fitness instructor since 1980, and I'm not by any means going to grace the cover of the next Muscle and Fitness magazine or anything like that. I don't want to. I just want to be healthy. And I think that when you get to a point in your life where you're overwhelmed and tired, you don't know how to get back from that. You don't know, maybe you've been working, 40 hours a week and you've raised kids and you just want to sit back, have a glass of wine and rock on the rocking chair on the front porch and watch the sunset. Like there's nothing wrong with that. But there's a balance to life. And I can share with you some tips and tricks. I believe God wants us to be healthy, not only for ourselves, but if you are one of those people like me who believes that we are living in biblical times and we quite possibly could be seeing a lot in the next coming years. Like, look at what we've been through in 3 years. A lot more could happen the next 3 years. We need to be strong and healthy. And if you're the type of person where you say, pick me, God, pick me. Okay, are you ready? Are you armored up? Are you ready to be on that front line? I don't just mean as a prayer warrior. I mean physically. Are you ready? So, I am starting this Glow community, and next Monday I do a workshop on it. I'd love for you guys to join me. It's free, absolutely free. Find out about it. Go to this website, ShemaineNugent.rocks, ROCKS, and you can look up Glow Workshop on the drop down menu. This is your chance to find a healthy life and to know some tips and tricks that I've learned. I want to share these things with you. That's why I feel like I can't rest right now. I've figured a few things out in my life. Number one, how to not conquer, it's a daily battle, but how to recognize, remediate, and recover from toxic mold, to lose weight and feel better, to gain energy, to have boundaries. Check out my interview on the Patriot Nightcap on YouTube tonight with Tresha, Tresha, Tresha Rodriguez. So I would love for you guys to join me. If you're lacking clarity about your purpose in life, you're feeling overwhelmed by all the conflicting information out there about diet and exercise. I gotta say, there's a new, keto, paleo, pescatarian, vegetarian. I've tried everything. Cookie diet, grapefruit diet, fasting. I want to share with you what works for me. And if it works for you, great. If not, move right along. That's okay. But I feel like it will help you if you feel like you're struggling with chronic pain and fatigue that make it difficult for you to enjoy little things. I remember how difficult it was for me to get out of bed and go to my son's track meet. It was a daunting task. I was so sick. I was diagnosed with having pre-emphysema, and I don't smoke. So I want to share these things with you. Check out this new community, this workshop, free workshop next Monday. I hope you join me. Check it out. And I guess that's it, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Have a safe and healthy Independence Day. Think about what independence means to you. Think about what our founding fathers went through. Kind of breaks my heart. I know I am fired up. Kind of breaks my heart. To think about what has happened to this country. Okay, guys. Okay. Oh, okay. Tina Maroney, thank you for bringing a smile to my face. Tina Maroney joined Glow. Always something to learn. Thank you, Tina. All right, guys. Have a great day. Make it a great day. Do something healthy and happy for you today. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.